business, it's like a regular thing.
I would probably need to get the okay from Roman if we're going to do it.
He left it in your care. He basically washed his hands, and he's like, "Are you leaving this in your capable hands?"
I actually bring that up. He said it's all ours.
Well,
He doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, I would say that in character he even used the word plausible deniability.
well, it's going to be a bit risky, and we're probably going to be. See this latch here? It's going to make a beeping sound once the case has been opened for the first time. Once we get to the drop-off points, they will know that we opened it. You sure it's alright?
Unless you succeed at the skill check, because as I said, like if you make a skill check and you succeed, then you will find a way to open it without, like, you know, nobody else will know that this was opened and then closed.
Then, wish me luck. Can Ivo aid me in any way?
That's a good question. There are 8 checks by default, and also, yeah, this is one of the things that I didn't homebrew. By default, the help checks work in a way that a character also makes a skill check against the same DC, but they might use another skill and attribute, assuming it works. It makes sense in fiction. Now that I think about it, because yeah, one of the things I slightly dislike is the fact that yeah, if for example if there's like a very high DC main skill check, usually not many people can help you with it because they are unable to roll that high. So yeah, we can either go with like regular rules. So basically, Ivo would have to roll against the same DC, but he might be able to use another like attribute and skill if it works, or basically
I'm not actually trained in fix.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be fixed.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, it can be another thing, assuming.
Oh, you meant a different skill.
Yeah, assuming it makes sense in fiction. Like if you can sell me to this
I mean,
idea.
I mean, if you're good in notice, you could try to spot any extra secret, triggers.
hear me out. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Telekinesis.
Do you have it?
Yes. Just try to put pressure on all the right spots.
Alright,
like-
yeah, you have telekinesis. Sure, go ahead. But yeah, before that, just to confirm, like, for now, I will. Yeah, this is one of the things that I didn't make handout, like wasn't homebrewing ideas for. So for now, are you fine with going with the vanilla rules for helping, so that you have to roll against the same DC? Okay. Sure. Yeah, go ahead with the telekinesis.
Just to make sure I don't put anything on the input value modifier, correct?
Yeah, you now because I've rolled 11, which means he gives you +1. And yeah, because when like it shows like the window to input like another modifier, you don't go +1, you just put 1 because the macro already has the plus symbol.
Alright.
I feel like Roll20 should fix that, but
I mean, yeah, it's an old bug, I would say.
yeah.
Although it's
But,
it's not really a bug because from how the way the macros are made, it makes sense because the macro already has
like
a
I
plus.
understand, but oh, nice. Yeah, my idea was basically like put pressure on the sensors so they like don't think they're not being pressured anymore while he was trying to open it. Was my idea with the telekinesis.
Alright, and I assume Wedge that 10 is with the +1 from Ivo?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and you managed to open it without triggering any sort of, not alarm, but like you'll be able to put the merchandise inside back in and close it without anyone being the wiser.
And I will make sure to spend my effort for the scene to use telekinetic manipulation.
Okay, I should start writing NPC names.
But basically,
One of them has to be has to be named Boris the Blade.
you know how like you open the fridge and there's the little button on the door?
Yeah.
Holds down, and when it's unpressed, it turns the light on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's might be like something similar to that, and I'm holding the button down with telekinesis while he's like looking inside.
All right. Okay, inside you find normally like the paper, like physical copies are pretty rare, but on like technologically lower like worlds, sometimes it might still appear. And basically inside you see several clearly, not many, just a few clearly forged documents, paper ones. You see a single compat that's offline currently, and you also see like a small glass see-through box cube. You see something that Wedge immediately figures out it's a data chip. I assume you.
Yeah. I just the button, the pressure button. I'm just gonna like find some tape to make sure it holds down. I can just maintain the telekinesis on it just fine, but just in case, I'll do both.
That's completely alright.
Now we can like look through the data chip in Compad if you want. And the papers, but I imagine they're just documents.
And there's also, as I said, a data chip and a offline compat, as in there's like a compat that's not currently active.
What do you think?
Okay.
Turn it on? Plug it in? How much you want to mess with it?
I'd say none at all.
Alright. Should go ahead and close it back up then.
Yeah, so you don't look through the documents, you don't try to figure out like.
I could skim through the forged documents real quick.
Okay. So like
Put the gloves on first. But...
figuring out what's it's all about, like how to read them, how to get the most information out of this, like not garbled mess, but obviously they are not written like clearly. It's clearly some sort of maybe not a fifth cant, but they are written in a way that it makes it harder to figure out what's this about. So it will be figuring it out. It will be either administer or no check, and against DC of 8. But it will be not wisdom based, but intelligence based.
And let's see, no.
No or administer. And I say that you can make the roll without, even if you are untrained. Okay. Yeah, I said the DC is 8.
Yep.
Okay, so information for the player, and you can just translate it into knowledge for a character. Essentially, in your minds, probably up until this point, it was that the tyranny, the government has their own goons, and they have their security and whatnot, and they just live this part of the city be a little bit. But as we are reading this, well, a question raises itself that why tyranny, why this oppressive government would tolerate like any, let's say air quotes, power in any local power on its backyard, like any criminal empire, just any like organized group of people that are dealing with illegal stuff and whatnot. And basically by taking some time and inspecting this stuff, you figure out that there are two things. One, allowing the crime to exist and basically like leaving this place to fend for itself for the most part, and like allowing criminals to do their thing is like a venting mechanism. So the government is not completely like cartoonish level of villainy. They are living like some sort of emergency like safety vent. And but the second thing is that yeah, they might have their own security apparatus, the oppressive machine, but that doesn't mean they are not always willing to get somebody in the ranks. And essentially these documents prove that there are state-sponsored attacks. Essentially there can be like bands of people, of bandits, of criminals that because the pay is good and they can enjoy some perks, benefits from the government, they are willing to do a job from time to time for them. And that's a new information, because up until this point I would say that the general idea was that we are all in this shit together. Sure, there might be some rivalization and whatnot between gangs and criminal organizations, but it was like if the government, if the security forces from the outside came in, it was the matter of, you know, banding against a common enemy. Like we forget about our stuff and we just band together, we stay like we support one another with hiding and stuff like that. But this proves something else. And that's the gist of it.
Probably should we tell Roman about this? I think the boss deserves to know. If there's a small chance that some of the free criminals will side with the oppressors, that we need to take certain precautions.
And yeah, you have to consider like what you've learned, and you have to like consider this with the following knowledge. This was a special delivery left by Ivan, like your mafia. 2, somebody targeted this taxi car specifically.
So, somebody wants this cargo really bad. So we're not the only criminal syndicate in this area. How many other main players are there? Or who are the biggest?
Yeah, I'm starting to think about it. It's would actually Wedge. No, I think this would be a case of another skill check, I guess. But before we get to that, Ivo, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Wedge was like considering some stuff, like does Ivo throw in any suggestions,
Oh wait,
opinions?
fuck! I didn't have my microphone on. I don't think you should. I'm not sure you should show it to Roman, because he did say that he didn't want anything to do with it.
Hmm.
It's good to know ourselves. I suggest we just close it and deliver it and probably move somewhere. Get a new apartment.
That might be the best cause, or the best course. So,
Or you could say it got lost along the way, not deliver it.
I won't risk open warfare with the other crane syndicates.
True.
Yeah, I mean, this is me saying as a DM. I don't have exactly like I didn't plan like how many criminals are there, or but I would say that from the basic knowledge, you would think that if this was delivery made by the mafia, you're technically owners of this front, and considering the drop-off point, you think you are pretty sure that they wanted to deliver this package to the territory of another gang slash syndicate, the one that let's say they have cordial relations with.
Hmm.
I'll
Sorry
leave it
about
up to you.
but yeah, I probably think we should just put it back in the case and get going.
Sounds good. You're the more cautious of us too, so. Times like these that I should listen to you.
And in that case, pun intended. Let's get going.
Okay, you gather up and yeah, are you going by foot slash using public transportation, or are you taking one of the company cars? Essentially, how are you getting there?
Hmm. I say we use one of the company cars. What about what do you say?
Worst case scenario, we can always book it if we get attacked. So let's go for it. Get as far as we can at least.
All right. I'm just copying some stuff. just now figure out that I don't have all the good handouts from the other campaign that are useful for making stuff. Okay, I would say these are just regular guys. We'll see how this goes. Okay, then I would probably know what's the thing. Oh yeah, also, one question, because as I mentioned before, considering what's the situation with how the firearms are controlled, the equipment you have is fine. Wedge just wanted to elaborate, like, what's the story behind the laser pistol? As in, you've managed to get it for a job, or
I mean, I thought it was more for more of a peacekeeper I got when we joined the Romance taxi shop, or mostly just used for emergency jobs like these.
yeah, because this is a TL4 stuff. So just to be sure, just to confirm, yeah, this is in your hands. If any like security, like government official or security agent checks you, then this is definitely an illegal stuff. Like the weapon you have is definitely
Oh,
illegal.
I came with the equipment, so
Yeah,
I
I mean,
could change it. We could flavor it as a regular pistol.
I mean, I know you picked this mechanically as a starting package. I just wanted to elaborate on the fluff aspect, so just we remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, the firearms in the hands of people, especially because this is a laser pistol, so this is tech level 4, especially like the advanced weapons like these ones. But yeah, fluff-wise explanation works, definitely works for me. Okay, so yeah, you are making your way through the city.
Mhm.
Are you like going at normally, or are you trying, just to be sure, like trying to be extra sneaky, extra careful?
I would say uh, I would drive the car. One of us would drive the car, and the other would be play the role as the passenger, whilst being a be a lookout for any either cars following us or anybody doing anything suspicious.
Okay. Okay, so I'd like to see skill checks. The first from the driver. And this.
Just a quick question, Ivo, what's your pilot at?
+1.
Mine's at 0, so I'll let you drive.
Huh.
What did you say? What stat would you say it is for driving?
In this situation, I can buy a lot of things because this is like driving in a way that you flow with the traffic and you don't like just one car out of many and not a car from your company. So basically you're using piloting as a means of like basically stealthing in a vehicle in a way.
Yeah, that sounds like dexterous, sharp turns and whatnot.
Yeah, it can be dexterity. I can buy it. Alright. And that's more than enough. So the like spotting things, the DC for that would be 7. Or sorry, 6.
So it would be a notice check with, I'm guessing either, let's see which one.
Probably wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
Yeah.
Do notice. Where are you?
Alright. Excellent. So thanks for Ivo's expert piloting, or rather driving, and Wedge has a much easier time at like spotting something extraordinary, not usual, because they fit their car fits in so well with the environment. So other things that might not fit as well stick out more. And while Wedge, like, he has this like feeling that there might have been an observer somewhere, that like basically like hair on the back of his neck just stands up for a moment, that he's like a chill that they might have been some possible danger, but it passes and you manage to, let's say, if I said that going by foot slash by public transportation would take like some matter half of a day, so with all these rolls and good driving, you get there, let's say like an hour or so later. And it's usual case as your taxi company. I'm not sure if this would be like a brewery. I'm getting like Peaky Blinders inspiration, like a brewery of some sorts or something like that. That it looks like your usual like facility, industrial facility, or basically a regular building on the front, but on the inside they are doing some also shady illegal business. I don't know. It can be a brewery or it can be like a deeper underground here.
Either a distillery or a speakeasy. If we're
Distillery or
going to
what?
speakeasy, basically an illegal bar.
I was thinking, unless you want the other option, I was thinking more in the lines of distillery. Unless you have other ideas what this facility, what sort of illegal activity they might have.
I mean, unless I'm guessing, unless we're under a sort of prohibition sort of deal.
I mean, it's less prohibition, but again, like all the stuff that's sold through the official means, you cannot be sure that it's not tampered with. It doesn't have like any additional elements.
Yeah.
I mean, distillery, it might be.
Or a abandoned warehouse. Who knows?
Something like that. As you arrive, first there's like a moment of stillness, and then from the shadows, like one figure steps up. Who are you? What are you looking for here?
Who's asking?
Me, and you better fucking answer. Unless you want trouble.
We've got a delivery from Ivan.
It was supposed to get here last night. Oh, sorry, small read. He wouldn't small read. He wouldn't just go at this like openly. huh. And obviously, like the guy, like most of the guys, like apart from this one, you spot that there is some movement, and obviously, like they spot that they have new arrivals. You have like burly, bald, like guys that basically look like, you know, hardened criminals. It's like, huh. Alright, park there. We'll talk
And I'll
inside.
pull around.
Okay. At least for the guys on the outside, and that they're showing, they are trying to not show that they are having any weapons, but when you pass closer, like they in a good hiding spots, or like they have like concealed on them, you know, like melee weapons, like, you know, steel pipes, baseball bats, knives, and whatnot. At least for the like outside perimeter. Alright. Get the package. I'll inform the boss.
Alright.
He's not gonna be happy. That was supposed to get here last night.
Well, sadly there were complications. But that's neither here nor there. Let's just make the deal. Or the drop or whatever.
Alright. Grab the package. And one of the other guys will take you to a waiting place. I'll go inform the boss.
I'll grab the package and walk you to the waiting place.
Alright. So a few minutes pass. And yeah, normally you would just like leave it, but because of the unusual situation and complications, they ask you to like wait, and then like another one of the thugs comes in and follow me. The boss will see you now.
Yep, and I'll go.
You get into like a fairly nice office. Like obviously whoever's running this establishment gets enough resources and money that he can afford some luxuries, like things like, I guess, like I don't want to go like too much like mahogany desk, but it's not like this level of luxury, but it's obviously better than the most that you're
Petting
seeing.
a cat in his lap.
He might have a cat, and he has like this thick, long ginger beard. And he's maybe not well built. He's slightly on the fatter side, but he's sitting leisurely. Oh no, not leisurely. He has this package in front of him. It's still closed, and he looks at you intently when you step into the room. Gentlemen, please have a seat. You are guests under my roof.
I will shrug and have a seat.
I hear you working for Ivan. You probably should like this. And then he pulls a bottle of vodka and pours you like a small glass, and then pours one for himself. You know, and this is like doesn't need a check, that essentially in the criminal code of honor, you share a drink under his roof, then it means the guest's rights apply to you.
Yep. I will be more than happy to share the drink.
I did not. Just reminded me of. I don't know. It was like a. 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 Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I know the scene you are referring to. Ah, that was fun movie.
A very underrated movie. But yeah, we're just going to raise the glass and take a shot.
Right? It's like not stinks, but it stings.
Yeah.
Like there's like a pleasant fire spreading throughout your
I'm a vodka drinker. I know how it is.
throat. Yeah. And yeah, this is like a good stuff. And then boss chuckles. Good, yes. Homemade.
Nice.
So, and
Wondering how I
then
got something this good.
he leans forward. He does the Gendo pose, so he like interlocks his fingers beneath his chin. And
Just tell me he has glasses that are shining.
yeah, I was going to initially say that he has shit. I need to translate the word monocle, like the single eye glass.
Mhm,
Oh yeah,
that'd be
monocle.
Monocle. Yeah, that's the translation. Okay. And I just wanted to say that apart from you and the boss, there are also, let's say, four other people. There is one like buff bodyguard standing like behind and to the side of the boss, like with his hands crossed on his chest, like he's trying to look like imposing and dangerous. And in like different corners of the room you have like other three guys sitting, like observing the situation, and when the boss is talking they are not even whispering to one another. So, and also sorry that I'm switching accents whatnot. So me boys are saying that there was some complications.
The original delivery
Courier.
boy got jumped. A courier. Sorry.
Huh. You know by who?
No, but
Well,
they did a hell of a number on his car and into him.
luckily, he survived. We're waiting for a small recovery for him so we could get more details.
Yeah. Like when you mentioned that the driver survived, he's like, yeah. Like he doesn't give a shit, but he's like, huh, and they targeted this thing specifically. I assume the package was secure?
Yes, it seemed
Safe and sound.
seemed a bit suspicious though. Almost seemed like this package in particular got targeted. Like someone got tipped off about it.
Huh. And then his like eyes narrow even more, like his stare tries to pierce your soul, both Wedges and Ivos. And there's like a moment of tense silence
All right, I confess.
where you followed.
Yeah.
Someone tried. I'm a good driver.
I'm a better spotter.
Yeah, there's like a moment of silence, and then he like gives like a dangerous smirk, like a predatory smirk, and good to see that Ivan is employing competent underlings.
Ivo would just shrug.
Now, gentlemen, if you don't mind me checking while we are still here, and then he like does the opening of the package, and then he like looks inside, starts rummaging through things, He pulls out the papers, compat, the cube.
Sorry if it got shook it up a bit.
Yes, I understand the necessities of driving to lose tail. By the way, as he's doing that, are you trying to spot, like notice what these guys are armed with?
I mean, probably. Just giving a couple of sideward glances.
Yeah. I'm gonna be respectful and keep my eyes on the boss.
Okay. Okay, so notice check based on wisdom. Difficulty level 7, because yeah, difficulty level 7.
Just a second.
Okay,
Another 11.
excellent. Okay. And by the way, just for the future reference, this is a new scene, so just in case, I'm just saying that.
Alright.
Okay, so you don't see if the boss is armed because he's sitting behind the table and he might not even have a weapon on him because he has a bodyguard. The bodyguard, because you are in an office in a mostly tight space, so he doesn't have a rifle, but he has thermal. No, wait, what he have?
Pistol?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, would he have such a weapon?
Might have like a stun gun or a taser or something.
No, they have lethal weapons. The bodyguard has a mag pistol.
I mean, it's non-lethal until you go and just punch the guy until he stops.
Yeah, the other 3 guys, the one and basically that one, he's really easy to spot. He has a combat shotgun. And then the other 2 have submachine guns. So basically like the sci-fi equivalent of an Uzi or Mag, you know, these kinds of submachine
Makes
guns.
sense. I played Cyberpunk, I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, the boss says that, and he's like, huh. Starting rummaging through this, and then like puts the like chip in a compat while he's waiting for the compat to activate. He's like, so due to these complications, normally we do business with Ivan through usual channels, and those channels will be respected, as always. But seeing that you gentlemen are such professionals and respectful under my roof, I'm in a... Actually, I just need to check one thing. If it's better, then it's better. 9 is... Okay, that works. And since you gentlemen are such respectable under my roof, I think I'm in a generous mood. So I'll throw a little bit of a bonus. I'm thinking about like intake of cash, unless you have some other ideas. Also, sorry, I just need to throw one more thing. With that 11 on your notice, Wedge, you get a feeling that the guy with the shotgun and the one of the guys with submachine gun is acting slightly more twitchy.
Twitchy house on like expecting something.
Yeah, like they are like, yeah, with 11 you're like, yeah, they are looking very intently at the situation, like, you know, one of their like feet is like tapping on floor. Or maybe I should just describe it differently. They seem like very like focused. You get like a different vibe from those two.
Hmm.
Which I'm gonna say with 11, you get a feeling, like subconscious instinct feeling, that it intensifies when like the boss is like going through the package and like activating stuff.
That actually makes sense. Because if we had like tampered with it or something, turned it into a bomb.
Yeah, yeah. So as this happens
Could
in
be
the
something else, but
as it happens in the meantime, yeah, do you like respond to this boss? And yeah,
out of character real
he
quick.
have not introduced himself.
Out of character real quick. Which
Yeah.
boot did we take? We took contacts.
Yeah, contacts. And this is like a separate payment. Like, you know, he can like, unless you, yeah, because he said initially money, or unless you gentlemen have like other needs that can be.
May I discuss this with my associate real quick?
But of course, and then he gives like another sharp smile. There are no secrets among friends, are there not?
Fair enough. What do you think, Wedge? Cash or arms crate?
No choice. We could also go for another hideout.
Or a vehicle that isn't a taxi?
Hmm.
I say we do the arms crate or the vehicle.
The goons here are strapped with shotties and bullpups. So
Good weapons for close quarters.
yeah, well, I got this is this dinky fake laser pistol. I call it "quote unquote" laser pistol, but it's just a bunch of LED lights strapped to a regular pistol.
That as pictured like a laser quest, like laser tag. It's literally just a flashlight.
Literally, it's just a regular gun disguised as a flashlight.
I say we go for the arms crate. It'll be useful for, let's say acquiring other supplies later.
This is a special tool that will help us later.
If that's agreeable, my good sir.
Arms crate. You gentlemen thinking about something big?
Just equipping a few friends with protection. slums are a dangerous place.
As we all know.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Well, gentlemen, obviously you understand that the crate of like a good quality stuff is slightly above what I'm willing to offer for your services. But the regular things like rifles